So thank you very much for coming this morning, for joining class. So what you'll need today is a blanket rolled up like a sort of long sausage type thing. And a strap or a belt, doesn't matter. Okay, strap or belt, which we're going to hold with both hands, so it can be sort of longish here. Great. And we're going to start on our backs, just to sort of assess how we're feeling today. So lie down on your mat, and then your arms apart, your legs apart, and let the body sink down into the ground. So taking a moment here just to sense how you're in contact with the earth. What right and left side feel like, whether there are any particular sensations, without wanting to name them, just become aware of them. So we're practicing always this body-mind connection and our proprio and interoception. To become more and more aware of the language that the body is using to communicate to us. And at the same time, this posture allows us to become aware also of our breathing, of the in and out flow of the breath. Without needing to influence it, we can soften our bodies and allow it to enter deeply, and then allow it to exit when the time is right. So a gentleness with ourselves. Okay, this soft, furry animal of our body. And then gently bend your knees, roll your knees over to one side, and then push yourself up so that you can take your blanket and lay it across the mat. And now the blanket is going to go to the lower ribs. So I'm just going to show you here. So it's not the lower back, it's not the shoulder blades, but it's in between both at the lower floating ribs. So place the blanket across your mat and then find this position. So the blanket is pressing into the lower ribs. Now it's going to feel a bit strange when you go back. Okay, so, and then settle down the shoulder blades. So we activated our shoulder blades in the last class, and we're going to work with them still today so that they snugly fit to the back of our rib cage. Okay, knees are slightly bent, and you sense here the blanket giving a light pressure here to kidneys and adrenals. So with this pressure, which we're not going to have the whole time, but while it lasts, it's going to signal to the adrenals that they can relax and settle down. So make sure this is comfortable for you. And then grasp your strap with the other hand, or with any hand, whichever. Bend your right knee and then wrap the strap over the foot, and it can be in the arch of the foot. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so this already is a challenge, lifting the legs up like that. Super. And then by pulling on the strap, bend your knee. So you're working against resistance here. So you really pull the strap with both hands. You can, if you wanted, you could place the elbows on the ground. So you're really using your shoulder blades here. And then lengthen the foot against, lengthen the leg against resistance. Bend the knee and then push into the strap to lengthen the leg. Bend the knee and push into the strap. So there's a lot of resistance here. Make sure you don't hold it in your jaw, but keep your tongue against the upper row of your teeth. So that will naturally release the jaw. And then keep pushing here against resistance. So this is going to help open the hamstrings and all the energetic channels along the back of the legs. Okay, including the kidney meridian here. So push and then push again. Oh. One last time. And then release the strap. Release your right leg down. Lengthen the leg out. Keep the left leg bent. And just notice the right side. You might even find a connection between the right leg and the left shoulder blade, the left side of your neck. Okay, so these diagonal connections within the body. And then bend the right knee, place the foot on the ground. We'll do the same with the left leg. So wrap the strap around the left arch and then bend. So you're bending your knee quite close to you and then you're stretching your leg. And now we try and keep it perpendicular to the upper body, but if it's easier for you, you can also bring it slightly further away. But see if you can bring it perpendicular. So bending and stretching. And as you stretch, you're always pushing through the heel, in fact. Okay, so it's the heel that's going to help lengthen the leg. Heel and then pushing through, really holding, making sure your tongue is against the upper row of your teeth, just behind it, so that you're not using tension anywhere else. And then if you wanted, you could have your elbows on the ground and then just hold with your hands, push and lengthen. One last time, and it can feel quite strenuous for the legs. And then release the strap, release the left leg down, release the left leg completely. And then observe the left side and see if you can maybe imagine even a connection here all the way up to the right side of your neck and your right shoulder and shoulder blade. Super. And now bend both knees. Stretch your legs up towards the sky. Again, now it should be easier to stretch them out. Draw your heels away from you and your toes are towards the sternum. Now, we're going to repeat the exercise we did in the last class, but with our adrenals here, with the back body on the blanket, so it's slightly different. So lengthen out your right arm, shoulder height, and place the palm down on the ground. And then push into that whole right arm. So release the right shoulder down, the right shoulder blade, stretch through your heels at the same time. Grasp your left hand around the upper body so you're holding your ribs on the right hand side. And then let both legs go over towards the right, and you're rolling here across the blanket towards the right. So don't go all the way, but maybe 45 degrees and then come back to center. Okay, so it's quite strenuous here for the body. See if you can keep your right arm into the ground, the shoulder and the shoulder blade. Back to center. Okay, 2 more times. Over towards the right, long legs. Back to center. Over towards the right. And back to center. And then release the feet down, mat width. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Release your arms. Take a moment here. And naturally the breath will enter more deeply. So you'll notice a deeper inhale most probably. And then we'll do the same to the other side. So left arm goes out, shoulder height. Turn your palm down. Press your palm, your shoulder, and your shoulder blade on the left-hand side into the ground. Lift both legs up towards the sky. Press through your heels, toes towards you, and then wrap your right arm around the rib cage towards the left. And then 4 times. On the exhale, we're going to go over towards the left arm. And then on the inhale, we're going to roll back to center. Okay, 3 more times. Going down and coming back. Remember that your jaw is loose. 2. And then a last time. And then coming back to center. Release your legs, feet mat width, knees together. Release your arms. Take a moment here to sense. Okay, the deep, deep abdominal muscles. And then one last exercise here. Bring both legs up towards the sky. Press through your heels. Make cactus arms. So elbows on the ground. Palms are facing up. Elbows are shoulder height. And then you have cactus arms here. Backs of the hand pressing into the ground. And then by pushing into the blanket behind you, let your feet and your legs come down about 45 degrees. And then back up to center. Down 45 degrees and lift up. Down and lift up. 2 more times. Down, and you're really pressing into the blanket behind. And lift up and down and lift up. And then release your feet down. Lift your pelvis up. Take the blanket out from underneath you. Bring it to one side. We won't be needing that until Shavasana. And then lengthen your legs out and notice the body now, how it is in contact with the earth. So something has shifted, and not only have we activated the adrenals here or relaxed the adrenals, but also the bottom of the diaphragm, where the diaphragm muscle inserts and where the psoas muscle begins. So very deep release here and a lengthening. Super. And then bend your knees in towards your body, roll over to one side, and then come up onto all fours. Spread your fingers. So in all fours, spread your fingers out. Curl your toes under, and then let your upper arms move out towards the side. So on the back body, it's as if you were moving your shoulder blades out towards the side. So as much as you can. So there's quite a lot of isometric movement here, but you'll notice it's going to then change. Okay, then in your own practice, forget about it. But for this practice here this morning, like really push your upper arms out to the side and notice how the shoulder blades are flattening towards the rib cage and at the same time separating. So really active hands. Toes are curled under and then lengthen back into downward facing dog. Knees are really bent. So bent knees, press through the upper arms and then straighten your legs, bend your knees. Straighten your legs, bend your knees. So there's elasticity here and your arms are strong. Upper arms moving out towards the side. And the same action we did with the legs on the ground, we're repeating here without a strap in a different position. And then find downward facing dog. Remember the ribs on the front, they're moving towards the spine. So we have a sort of solid, as if we had zipped up the whole front of the body all the way up, from the sternum all the way up to the clavicle. So stay sort of active here. And then knees back on the ground on the inhale, head comes up. So it's like a cat pose. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale onto all fours, lengthen through the spine, strong shoulder blades, and then back into downward facing dog. Super. And then your eyes come forward, right foot slightly into the middle, left leg rises, eyes are forward. Left foot forward in between your hands, right foot 45 degrees, bend the front knee, and then come up. So this is warrior one position. Come up with both arms. And then take your strap and then bring your hands behind you, and we're going to move the strap, like pull the strap out to the side. So in the last class we did this with our hands, but now we're using the strap. So really pull the strap out to the side so that your shoulder blades are really moving out. On the inhale, lift the head up towards the sky. On the exhale, lengthen the front body forward without touching the front thigh, and lift your arms up by pulling them up and pull them apart at the same time. Really lengthen here, back leg strong, front leg strong. And then come up again on the next inhale. Go down and lengthen on the next exhale. Come up on the next inhale. One last time. Go down on the next exhale. And then come up on the next inhale. Release the strap, have it close to you. Pivot the back foot. Open both arms up towards the sky. And then right arm comes down. Left arm lifts up all the way. Super. Yes. And then both hands down on the ground. Front leg goes back into plank. From here, bring your knees to the ground, your forearms to the ground, and then stretch the legs back again into forearm plank. And so here, your elbows can come a little bit closer, and again, we push out through the upper arms. So being quite active here in the shoulders. And then knees come down, tops of the feet come down, open up into Sphinx. And then coming back, curl your toes under and come back up into forearm plank. So long, strong body here. And then knees to the ground, tops of the feet to the ground, hands underneath your shoulders, come up into cobra. Nice long cobra here. And then bend your knees, curl your toes under, move back into downward facing dog. Pushing out through the upper arms. So really feeling that the whole upper body, this whole shoulder girdle with arms, shoulder blades and clavicules is broad and solid. And then left foot slightly further towards the center. Right leg rises all the way. Your eyes are forward. Right foot forward. Left foot 45 degrees, warrior one. Activate the back leg, activate the front leg. And then both arms come up toward, both arms come up towards the ceiling. And then grasp your strap. Hands behind you, and we're drawing the strap apart. Okay, so as strong and long as you can. Lift the strap up a little bit higher, bend your front knee. Both legs are super active. And then lengthen the front body forward by pushing even more through the back leg. And then come up again. Exhaling, lengthening down. Come up again. Exhale, lengthening down. Come up again. And then put your strap to one side. Turn, pivot the back foot until when high lunge, open both arms up towards the sky. Okay, and your eyes lift up, your mouth, the corners of your mouth lift up. Left hand to the ground, open up towards the right, twisting. And then right hand to the ground, left hand to the ground, right foot comes back into plank. Push out through your upper arms, so very broad, strong shoulders here. And then bend your knees, sit back into child's pose. And then from child's pose, come up onto all fours and then lay your whole body down towards the ground. And now bring your right arm out to the side. Lengthen the right arm, shoulder height, palm is facing down. And then we're going to roll over the right shoulder. Okay, keep the feet, the legs one on top of each other, and the left hand is sort of stabilizing your body. And then come back slightly and bend, if this is okay for you, bend the right elbow. Okay, so your shoulder will come slightly off the ground. And then lift up your top foot, your top leg, pushing through the heel. And now see if you can lift your right arm up. So the upper body might need to come forward a bit. So lift up your right arm. So the cactus arm on the right, you're lifting up, and your left leg is lifting up. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Okay, your head can be down on the ground, or it can be sort of supporting this. And then release down, roll back down onto your belly, both hands in front of you, your forehead in your hands. Take a moment here. And then we'll roll over to the other side. So left arm is outstretched, shoulder height, palm facing down. And roll over the left shoulder. So we're rolling our body up towards the left. Both legs are stacked. If you wanted for balance, you could have the bottom knee slightly bent. And then bend the left elbow, so be very careful here. Find a cactus arm on the left-hand side. And now we're going to lift up the left cactus arm and the right leg. Okay, head can be down or slightly lifted. I'm lifting it just to speak into the microphone. Okay, so lift up your arm, stretch through the back leg. You can flex or point your foot. Okay, one more deep breath here. And then come back, relax down. Hands in front of you, forehead in your hands. And take a moment for the deep breaths to naturally come into your body. Super. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, come up into cobra. Curl your toes under and go back into downward facing dog. So long downward facing dog, long upper body. Lower ribs are moving in towards the spine. And then bring your right foot closer to the center. Left leg rises on the inhale. Left foot forward. Keep on the toes of the back foot. And then lift both arms up towards the sky. Bend your elbows. Turn the upper body towards the left. Okay, cactus arms. And then lock your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And see if you can open here, cactus arm. Straighten the back leg. Yes. Super. Fantastic. And then release. Come back, open up towards the sky. And then both hands to the ground. Front leg goes back into plank. Knees to the ground, forearms to the ground. Come into forearm plank. Okay, so you notice we're also really targeting with the shoulders the deep abdominal muscles. And then knees to the earth, tops of the feet to the earth in Sphinx. And then hands underneath your shoulders, cobra. And from cobra into downward facing dog by drawing in through the navel and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Okay, backs of the legs are opening. You can always micro bend the knees and then straighten again. Eyes are forward, left foot comes slightly towards the center, right leg rises all the way. Right foot forward in between your hands. Left foot stays with the toes on the ground only. And then lift up here into Anjayanasana, high lunge. Bend your cactus arms out towards the side. So drawing out through the elbows, so really broad here. And then we're twisting towards the right, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then see if you can open your cactus arms again and try and find 90-degree angles here. Okay, it's not quite possible everywhere. And then strengthen the back leg. Yeah, back leg is strong. One more breath here. And then release the arms down. And then both arms up towards the sky. Both hands to the ground. Come back into plank. And from plank, come back onto your knees. Lengthen back into child's pose on your upturned feet. See if you can move your buttocks all the way back to sit on your heels. Let your head release down. Super. And then from here, up onto all fours, back into downward facing dog. Eyes are forward, and then just walk your feet forward in between your hands. Bow down deeply, Uttanasana. And then pressing through your feet, slightly bent knees, lift your whole body up, unfurl, open your arms up towards the sky. And then let both hands rest alongside the body for Tadasana. Okay, so see how broad you feel now all the way across the chest. At the same time, supported here, lower back, adrenals, kidneys. And then we're going to bring our arms again up into cactus. So connecting here with the shoulder blades. Bring your left knee up. And then we're going to twist over towards the left, both arms towards the left. So find the balance here. Okay, it doesn't matter if you fall. Okay, so twist the upper body just as far as you can go. Super. And then come back to center with the upper body and then place the left knee down. Release your arms. You can shake your arms out. And we'll do the same towards the right hand side. So right knee, find your cactus arms. You can outspread the fingers. Right knee comes up. And then we're going to twist over to the right. See how far you can go. Okay, notice how the deep abdominals help you to twist here. Super. Stay here one more breath. Come back to center. Release the leg down. You can shake out your arms. Okay, and relax them completely. Super. And then from here, feet are mat width apart. We're going to come down into a deep squat. So into Malasana. Now, remember you can always roll up your mat, roll up the front edge of your mat to make yourself little heels so that your heels have something to sit upon. So you want the heels to really sit down. Elbows to the inside of the knees. Open your arms out towards the side. So again, elbows are bent. Stretch out your fingers. Okay, and notice the shoulder girdle. Notice how your shoulder blades are really nesting into the back of your ribs. Okay, one more deep breath here. And then release your buttocks down. Lengthen your legs out in front of you. Find space here underneath your buttocks. Now here in the seated position, you might want to sit up your hips a little bit. For that, you could use your already rolled up blanket and just lift your hips up so that the pelvis can come forward easily. Both feet are together. You push through the heels. And then both arms up towards the sky on the inhale. Lengthen the whole upper body. And then on the exhale, bring the shoulders down a little bit. The arms broaden, so not quite cactus arms, but as if you were sort of holding the sun in between your hands. And then come forward on the exhale. Lifting up on the inhale. Coming forward on the exhale. So we keep the broad back here. Okay, 2 more times. Coming up on the inhale and then forward on the exhale. And then come up, release the arms completely. Place the hands on the ground, push into the ground with both hands. Lift up and lengthen your neck. Reach through the crown of your head. And then release. Take the blanket from underneath you. Place your feet up onto the ground. Knees are bent, and we're going to roll the body all the way back. So very, very slowly. And it's as if you were really curling the whole spine. So see if you can lay your pelvis down, the sacrum down, very, very carefully, edge by edge, bit by bit, until you're lying back on the ground. Hands alongside your body. Press into the back of your skull and just lift your shoulders up and then broaden the shoulders, broaden the shoulder blades and melt them down onto the ground. Arms are alongside the body, palms facing down, both legs coming up towards the sky, feet, heels up towards the sky, And then, as we did at the beginning, but slightly differently, arms stay alongside the body. We're going to allow the legs to move over towards the right, not too far. And then back to center. So the left shoulder can lift off the floor, that doesn't matter. And then all the way over to the right and back to center. Okay, so make sure that you're not holding this with your jaw. So release jaw, super, and back to center. And then the same towards the left. So 3 times over to the left. So very controlled movement here. So it's the deep abdominals that are going to help us. And they're also, then of course, they have a positive effect if they're toned on the whole rest of the body, including all the pelvic floor, our breathing, the way we walk, the way we move. And back to center. And then bend your knees. Feet are mat width apart, knees fall together. Relax here, especially the shoulders which might have tensed. You can turn your arms up towards the sky, palms towards the sky. And then keeping your feet shoulder width apart, keeping your feet mat width apart, separate your knees, lift your pelvis up and place it over towards the left, and then let both knees roll towards the right. Your left hand can come onto the pelvis here at the left. Your right hand can push the right knee down a little bit. Left hand lengthens the pelvis, lengthens the whole, sort of, you can give an impulse here to lengthen the whole front of the thigh all the way down towards the knee. So it's more sort of an active twist. And then come back towards the center. Lift your pelvis up, place it over towards the right hand side, so swing it over to the right. Let your left knee come down, the right knee follows. Left hand on the left knee, right hand at the edge of your pelvis here, and it's going to lengthen the thigh towards the knee, right thigh towards the right knee. So an active twist. And then come back to center, lift your pelvis up, place it in the center of your mat. Grasp your blanket to cover you, and then outstretch your legs and your arms. Okay, legs are quite separate from one another. The arms don't touch the body. And we come into Shavasana. Okay, some would say the most important posture. Your body is nice and warm. And you allow it to gently melt down, so no more effort required. And relax your toes, the balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, and your heel. Relax the tops of your feet and your ankles. Allow your calf muscles to broaden into the ground beneath you. Relax your shins. Loosen your knees and widen the back of the knees. Let your heavy thigh bones sink down into the earth while all the thigh muscles melt out towards the side. Relax your hips right and left. Let your pelvis broaden onto the ground, and all the organs inside your pelvis will release and relax towards the earth. Relax your lower back, your kidneys, the adrenals, and the whole rib cage, from the lower back all the way up to behind the neck. Relax your shoulder blades, your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands. Notice your breath moving your belly slightly upwards and then letting it fall back towards the spine. Notice how your lungs and ribs broaden on the inhale and come close to hug the heart on the exhale. Relax your neck, your throat, your lips and your tongue. Relax your ears, your nostrils, your eyelids and your eyes. Relax your eyebrows and allow your forehead to broaden, open and innocent. Relax your scalp and the whole of your head, the whole of your body, from the crown of your head all the way down to the feet, and from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Your whole body is relaxed and your whole body is at ease. And now allow with every inhale a beam of light. It could be a ray of sunlight or a moonbeam across the sea. Allow this light to enter through the crown of your head, stream along your spine all the way down to the tailbone on the inhale. And on the exhale, this light moves into every single cell of your body, cleansing and purifying. Returning your body again to its inherent state of innocence. feel free to either lie here for a couple moments longer, or you can start moving your toes, dancing your fingers, taking a long stretch, opening, yawning, starting the day one more time. And then, if you wish, you can roll up then into a seated position, taking a moment here to allow the sensation of peace and stillness to seep into every cell. I am at peace. Deep inside of me, I am at peace. I am perfect the way I am. I say thank you so much for joining class this morning. And I wish that your day unfolds with beauty every single moment. And remember, what a beautiful day. I haven't seen this one before.